How has this truth about Jesus been covered up for 2,000 years?
Because, of course, the meat eaters won. You know, as it's often been said, history is the province of the winners. And now we're living with the consequences.
And what do we know about the winners?
What we do know is that Paul was fiercely anti-vegetarian, and his influence has undoubtedly influenced the direction of Christianity, and especially during the first century.
St. Paul is a Roman leader who spread Christianity to the masses, encouraged converts to eat meat, condemning the movement that didn't. Funny, many people don't know that Jesus had a brother James. And why is that?
We have all of these additional sources. The main thing is his lifestyle. He doesn't eat meat. He lived off what grew of itself.
James, the brother of Jesus, was clearly a vegetarian, and he was head of the Jerusalem church.
He's called the pillar of the church. The so-called pillars, Paul says, because Paul didn't necessarily always agree with James. Later, James was brutally murdered in the temple by the same gang of priests that killed his brother Jesus. And then he's largely written out of the New Testament.
The church amplified Paul's pro-meat writings while burning the books that didn't align with their new doctrine.
We know that the Gospel of the Ebionites, that portrays Jesus as a vegetarian, was actively suppressed by the church.
These texts of the followers of James, the brother of Jesus, were lost to history. They were overshadowed by what Paul wrote, and his writings effectively replaced the original message of Jesus and James, for which they lived and died.
The remaining Nazarene movement was weeded out. Eventually, they were all killed off. Over the argument of the consumption of animals, only years after their leader, Jesus, was crucified as a terrorist.
Well, that's why I say he's the lamb who liberates the lambs. You see, the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. A reversal of the traditional practice of shepherding who looks after the animals and then slaughters them. It is the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep.